Winter weather advisories issued across the area for tomorrow morning as we're tracking not only how much snow is in the works, but what road conditions will look like for the morning and evening commutes.
Big news on the vaccine front. The FDA says Johnson & Johnson's COVID vaccine is safe and effective. It could be ready by this weekend. But if it's less effective than the other vaccines being used, why get it? We'll hear from an expert.
Then an expansion at the Libby Center from Spokane public school leaders will let you know the timeline and what the layout looks like.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Regina An.
Welcome to KREM 2 News at 11. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Let's get straight to some breaking news at this hour. One man's in the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Spokane Valley police searching for the person or people who pulled the trigger after a shooting in the valley tonight.
And our Casey Decker was live on scene in Spokane Valley and brings us the very latest tonight.
Police here in the valley still on scene at this hour investigating this crime. You can see behind me still a couple blocks of 7th Street here blocked off right now as they continue to investigate. This happened just a few hours ago, so at the moment details are scarce. Here's what we know. The call came in at around 6 o'clock. Spokane Valley deputies responded. At the house, they say they found an adult man with gunshot wounds. They cared for the man until medical crews arrived and took over. They took him to the hospital. Like you just heard, they described those wounds as life-threatening. Our latest update, the victim in surgery. We don't know more than that right now. As for the suspect, right now police do not have one, and they aren't even really sure exactly how many people were involved here. Whoever it was fled the scene before deputies arrived. However, they say they are confident right now that there's no threat to the public. Now, part of the reason they're confident of that, they do not believe this was a random shooting. In fact, this address is well known to police. They've been here multiple times in the past year for various violent or criminal incidents, including at least one involving a gunshot. Neighbors here say this is a problem house. We'll be hearing more information about that in the coming days. For now, reporting in Spokane Valley, Casey Decker, KREM 2 News.
All right, we're going to switch gears here for a moment. Check this out. Some pretty incredible video tweeted out by transportation crews earlier today. Teams on Snoqualmie Pass dropped explosives from a helicopter during an avalanche control mission today.
There you go. Well, crews say it was a huge success, but my goodness, as you see there, it gives you an idea of the avalanche condition in the high country right now. So with that, let's bring in meteorologist Thomas Patrick. So Thomas, it was really nice out earlier today, but we're expecting some snow in the morning, right?
Yeah, absolutely right. In fact, right now we can feel that the winds are getting a little bit stronger, but the skies are still clear at the moment. So give it a couple more hours. We'll see the clouds move in by tomorrow morning, and that's when the snow is going to start falling. That's why we have winter weather advisories across all of eastern Washington, all of North Idaho for at minimum 1 inch of snow, which doesn't sound like a lot, but 1 inch of snow is enough to at least slow us down for the morning commute. So that's going to be the key headline for tomorrow, is that it will be snowing during the morning commute hours. But it's 29 right now, so conditions below the freezing mark going to allow for that snow to stick right away. So that's what's going to create those snowy and slippery conditions. But by the time we get into the afternoon, we get not just above the freezing mark, but perhaps even into the low 40s in some regions. So that's going to create an interesting dynamic, because while tomorrow morning's commute is going to be snowy and slippery, well, the evening commute's going to be a lot wetter and a lot slushier, as that snow is going to start melting basically just after it starts snowing. So interesting dynamic for tomorrow. In fact, temperature wise should be above the freezing mark in the afternoon hours, but not the morning. So I'm going to be tracking how much you can expect in terms of snowfall for the morning hours on Thursday, and how much warmer temperatures we'll get by the time we get to not just the weekend, but early March as well.
Sounds good, Thomas. Thank you very much. A third coronavirus vaccine could be in the mix by this weekend. FDA vaccine advisors will meet on Friday to discuss whether to recommend Johnson & Johnson's vaccine for emergency use authorization, and things do look promising. The FDA says it is 66% effective in global trials, even more effective, 72% in U.S. trials. It also offers strong protection against severe COVID symptoms. It could be the first single-dose shot available in the U.S., but some may wonder, why get the Johnson & Johnson vaccine if it's less effective than the other two that are currently available? I took that question to an expert tonight. Why would someone opt for the Johnson & Johnson vaccine when the efficacy is lower than the Pfizer and Moderna?
Because Johnson & Johnson is a one and done. So it's a single dose regimen. And so if you think about on a population level, if you're trying to vaccinate a whole bunch of people very quickly, there's potential bottlenecks with supply, distribution, and administration. It really makes a lot of sense to get everybody protected as quickly as possible with the one and done. And, 72% in the United States is pretty good protection. rather than needing both of those doses, like with Moderna and Pfizer, to get to that 94, 95% protection.
In the meantime, Spokane Regional Health District says that no coronavirus variants have been identified in Spokane County yet. Interim Health Officer Dr. Frank Velasquez said it's difficult to tell whether variants are already in the county. However, he did say that it's a matter of time before it happens. The South African and UK variants have already been identified in Washington. Both variants were identified using genome sequencing, and Spokane County will be testing wastewater for it. In the meantime, health officials say to keep up with what we have been doing so far, wearing a mask and social distancing.
12 inmates at the Spokane County Jail downtown have tested positive for the coronavirus. According to a press release from the county, Spokane County Detention Services is now working with the health district to address and contain the current cases. No cases were reported among staff, and no cases have been reported over at the Geiger facility. New tonight, exciting news for parents and students. The Libby Center is expanding.
And Spokane Public Schools announced that they will be adding more classrooms, and even a new library dubbed The Hive will be built near the school. Now, architects showed these floor plans here. The new floor plans include 4 classrooms on the first floor and 6 classrooms on the second floor. The goal is to have these breakout rooms that the district is working out to have fit in the budget. The design is inspired by bright colors to bring in more excitement and energy into the classroom.
There's a reality of we weren't able to make every space a new space. And of course, we wish every program in every classroom could have a brand new 21st century space. And that's our hope and goal. But there was parameters to this project based on the availability of funds with the bond. So we got to look forward to the future optimistically and know that this is a step in the right direction.
Construction for the remodel is expected to begin in June and be completed by the end of the fall. Still coming up on KREM News at 11 tonight, all kids in Coeur d'Alene Public Schools could be going back to in-person learning. We'll let you know what we know and when that will be decided. Coming up next.
God wanted me to be in that spot for some reason that day.
UPS driver turned hero, and he didn't even know it. We share the story of a woman who says a local UPS driver is the reason she's alive today.